Welcome to the Modern Stock Car Cup Tour. We are here from Talladega Superspeedway in the one and only race in the state of Alabama, and of course it's at the greatest racetrack, one of the greatest racetracks in all of America. It is the Books A Million 500 from Talladega Superspeedway. Don't be surprised if somebody blows over, or if somebody causes a big wreck somewhere that takes out 10, 15, 20 cars. It's not going to, it's not going to not happen. Because with 42 cars in the field this afternoon, boy oh boy, it's going to get really interesting. The hometown boy is on your pole this afternoon. It is Jay Monin, the native of Alabama, although he is from Ohio, but he recently moved to Alabama. It's time for your driver command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Well, there you have it as one of our final races on the super speedways for this season in our top division. We will begin the 57-lap event by taking a look at our starting lineup. In row 1, we have Jay Monin and Ian Cora. Row 2, we have Santiago Alvarez and Dan Wilkins. Row 3, we have Dakota Bennett and Jay Bird. Row 4, we have Creed Daniel and John Buckford. Row 5, we have teammates on the same row, Kęstutis Ramonas and Nelson Reed. Row 6, we have another pair of teammates, Stephanie Larson and Armin Salvador. Row 6, we have Brady Wilmington and Chase Buckman. Just make sure I'm on the right row. 3 and 4. Row 8, we have Ryan Adema and Gus Alvarez II. Row 9, we have Bradley Wilmington and Bradley Rhymes, and Darian Arthur. Row 10, we have Patrick Starr and Kyle Driscoll. Row 11, we have Luis Aguilar and David Hiller. Row 12, we have Dante Lemieux and Farris Khalil. Row 13, we have Ethan Mitchell and Jacob Thibodeau. Row 14, we have Wade Driscoll and Agristo Papageorgis. Row 15, we have Greg Shatner and Bryce Durlacher. Row 16, we have Vincent Crook and Leo King. Row 17, we have Tim Moore and Doug Doring. Row 18, we have Winty Wolf and Christian Coppola. Row 18, we have Mitchell Collins and Arthur Xavier. Row 20, we have Nolo Hamilton and Carl McKinney. And then row 21 is William Westmoreland and Amelia Nielsen. So 42 incredible cars. Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, and Dodges. And we got a car blowing up. Oh my goodness. Is that... That is Kęstutis Ramonas blowing up, quite literally, on the pace lap. So he did a little oopsie, and now he'll be going to pit lane before we even take the green flag, and he'll probably go to the garage as well. But in any case, it is Jay Monin, who has not won a race yet, and Ian Korob on the front row here at Talladega. For the Books A Million 500, 57 laps of exciting racing is about to get underway. We have the green flag. Ian Korob already being pushed out to the front by his teammate Dan Wilkins. Already getting a good run. There's John Buckford in the top 10. You don't really see him much. You don't see him hanging around the mid-pack. As they head down the backstretch, they're 3 wide. Alvarez, Monin, and Korob. Korob and... Oh, Jay Monin actually getting shoved. They are now 4 wide going into the road. His teammate, Dan Wilkins, even giving him a little bit of a shove there. Very aggressive racing on lap 1 here at Talladega. You just know with aggressive racing, you know, with actions come consequences. And that's why when you see races like this at Talladega, you usually see the big ones early in the race, privately, or not early in the race, usually later in the race. But here, we've seen a lot of wrecks early. There's Bennett and Wilmington and Santiago Alvarez trying to work things out here as they head down the backstretch. David off the second tries to get a little bit of a run. You can see Creed Daniel there wide in the corner. Just seems a little bit too dicey. You just know they're going to wreck at some point. There's Nelson Reeves making his way into third. They head back to the stripe on lap 3. Ian Korob still holding his line as Nelson Reeves now slides into the second position, and we got a crash. Chase Buck is in it, and Armin Salvador, they tangle up. That brings out our first caution of the afternoon. Headed back to the stripe. They continue the wreck behind them. That is Leo King and William Westmoreland and John Buckford and Stephanie Larson. Oh! Stephanie Larson goes upside down after literally 30 seconds after the caution ended. What? They're still wrecking. How is this even possible? That's quite literally insane. Let's take a look at what happened, first of all, to Chase Buck and Armin Salvador and see what situation went on there. As you can see here, they're running the top line. Looks like the 4-car... Yeah, the 62 turned to 52. Then Ryan Adema got up in it. John Buckford and Stephanie Larson as well. And they just really didn't get the good luck of the draw. Let's take a look at Armin Salvador's hood in the number 52 Verizon Chevrolet. And then now from the hood of the 19 of Chase Buck, he probably got the worst damage out of anybody in that tangle up. So then what's even crazier about that all is we see here... We see Leo King, William Westmoreland, and Wade Driscoll. Let's see how this happened. Looks like William Westmoreland went below the yellow line. He went below the yellow line, and then as they tried to come back up, they basically took out Leo King. Christian Coppola got in it. Wade Driscoll as well. William Westmoreland hit the wall pretty hard. Remember, this is Westmoreland's first race in the MSCCT. He is filling in for Andre Peters, who is serving a one-race suspension following Atlanta. Yeah, John Buckford just takes out his front end. And then while all this is happening, here comes Stephanie Larson going through the grass at, 150. But then she spins out and pow! Hits Wade Driscoll and goes upside down multiple times. That is very confusing, if you want to put it that way. She literally just spins out and hits the 78. Let's take a look at her camera since I have no clue what happened here. Yeah, she just spun out and hit the roof there. So the race leader following all of this is now Patrick Starr. We've talked about how Patrick Starr is very good on restarts. He was very good at Atlanta and at Bristol on the restarts. He's gained a lot of spots that way. But on lap 5 at a 57 from the books 1,500,000, we will be right back we will be right back after this. We're under caution. So we will be going green next time by. Your top 10 is as follows: Patrick Starr, Jay Bird, Creed Daniel, Bradley Rhyme, Dante Lemieux, Dan Wilkins, David Iller, Ethan Mitchell, Santiago Alvarez, and your pole sitter, Jay Monin. And a little bit of an update on the people on pit road. It appears as though Westmoreland is out of the race, and so is John Buckford. Let's just confirm that. Yeah, they're out of the race. So the pace car comes on the pit road as the 08 of Patrick Starr in that number Bang Energy Camaro is your race leader. Into the tri-oval. Green flag. And Jay Bird immediately jumping to the outside as we take the green flag. They're going to go side by side, head to head in turn 1. The question is, which driver will reign superior in their battle for the draft? They are, like I said, side by side in the corner. And they're getting help from both sides, but they are side by side in the corners. Bradley Rhyme goes high. They make it a wide, three-wide battle there between Wilkins and Rhyme. But Patrick Starr gets the advantage off of turn number 4. As they are three wide there towards the middle, as Patrick Starr now finds his groove. Back to the stripe. He leads lap number 9. Now he's got to basically just fend off everybody else that's trying to battle with him. Like Dan Wilkins in the 77, he's trying to give him a run. As Jay Bird drops back a little bit. Oh, Patrick Starr now making some aggressive blocks here. You can see they're still running three wide. There's Dakota Bennett and Ethan Mitchell trying to work together. And now Dakota Bennett sort of being stranded a little bit. He goes to block the 01, and he got a little bit squirrely there. But he hangs on to it. And leads. So they're still trying to find a groove, but you just know it's not going to end well as of right now, with everybody making so aggressive of blocks. As now Ethan Mitchell running in second. He's trying to get an advantage on the 08 there. As if I haven't mentioned it 12 times already within the past 3 races, there is a very important streak going on. 11 unique races with 11 unique winners. And oh, Vincent Crook goes around. Big crash coming off of turn number 4. We got the big one in the tri-oval. Doug Doring is in it. Leo King is in it. Oh my, some cars getting smashed up. This is the big one, and the caution comes out. Doug Doring, Leo King, Vincent Crook, Brady Wilmington, Dan Wilkins involved. Tim Moore is in it. Bradley Rhyme, as we said. Winty Wolf. So many different cars involved as they wreck coming off of turn number 4. Let's take a look at the replay. Well, first of all, you see a lot of cars in the back sort of getting piled up in this. Because remember, this starts from like inside the top 10. But Vincent Crook, who was running 14th at the time of caution, you can see here, what happens is that it looks like the 40 of, Winty Wolf turns Vincent Crook, turns him around, and then sends him right back into the pack, taking out Papa Georges, Nelson Reeves. Look at Darian Arnsdorf, who gets through that, and he does miss the commitment cone, so he is safe from the yellow line rule. Very interesting. And then Bradley Rhyme as well went on his side. He actually was on the roof of the, let's see, where is he? There he is. On the roof of the 80 car, and then just, wow, and then they still continue to pile up. Ryan Adema got involved. Leo King got all torn up as they slid through the grass. And how about David Iller as well? That's another interesting case that we're seeing here, where he was just, sort of spinning through, and then here comes Christian Coppola, quite literally at, at 180. He's trying to slow down here, then he hits Iller, sends him spinning very quickly, and then he just gets stopped by Bradley Rhyme, and then Arthur Xavier as well. It's just insane, but let's take a look from some of these cameras here that could help us out in trying to see what in the world happened. So let's take a look from inside of the 3-car of Winty Wolf to see what he sees. And even though Wolf was the one that technically started it, he somewhat got out unscathed, and he's probably still going to stay in the race. But let's take a look at Bradley Rhyme in the number 40. Coppola. Just real insanity from Talladega here, as we already had our big one and we're not even halfway through the race. It's pretty crazy if you ask me, of just how this wreck conspired. Pretty dubious circumstances there for that to happen. But let's take a look just a few more times at the camera angles that we see from this wreck. See right there, I mean, that's how it happened. Got on the hood of the 80. While we're at it, let's take a look from the hood of Kyle Driscoll in number 80, since he had literally another car basically on top of him. Let's take a look. Yeah, that was just for a few seconds, but it was enough to actually take him out of the race. But oh boy, oh boy. If we take a look at the backstretch views here, there's not too many cars left, because that big one took out so many cars. I mean, there's Winty Wolf there. If we take a look at pit lane, there's only a few guys on pit lane, but they're probably going to be out of the race at this point. So let's take a look, actually, at who is out. Yeah, look at that. Look at all this. The people that are out of the race are Stephanie Larson, William Westmoreland, John Buckford, and Chase Buck. That was all from the original crash on lap 2. But then there was Wade Driscoll, Mitchell Collins, Carl McKinney, Christian Coppola, Doug Doring, Amelia Nielsen, Bradley Rhyme, David Iller, Leo King, Brady Wilmington, Arthur Xavier, Jay Bird, Jacob Thibodeau, Gustav Adolf II, Kyle Driscoll, Tim Moore, Nolo Hamilton, and Vincent Crook, all out of the race, leaving us with 19 cars. As now Ryan Adama's blowing up, so I guess make that 18. Survival of the fittest? I don't know, but this is definitely a turn of events, as we saw Kęstutis Ramonis have his engine blow before we even saw the green flag. We'll see if he goes to the garage from this, but that is not looking good for the number 92. Yep, he's done. He's going to the garage. But we are going green this time by your race leader, Patrick Starr, followed by Faris Khalil, Ian Korob, Ethan Mitchell, Greg Shetner in 5th, Bryce Durlocker, Armin Salvador, Darian Arnsdorf, Dakota Bennett, Dante Lemieux, Santiago Alvarez, Jay Monin, Nelson Reeves, Luis Aguilar, Creed Daniel, Agristo Papa Georges, Dan Wilkins, and Winty Wolf. Those are your 18 cars remaining. Jay Bird is still technically running. He's just getting a lot of repairs done. He probably will eventually go to the garage, and if he does end up going back on the track, he won't really be competitive. But honestly, if you're going to be guaranteed a top 20 just for surviving the race, I don't think that's that bad of a trade-off, even if you're not competitive. So going into turn 3, there's the 08, your race leader at this time. Into the tri-oval we go as 18 cars remain on the lead lap at least. In the books 1,500,000, as we've already had our big one, this could mean competitive racing and not at all snooze fest to come. Into the tri-oval on a green flag as Dakota Bennett and Agristo Papa Georges all jump to the outside. Same with Faris Khalil. Faris Khalil on the outside of the 08 trying to at least make some moves here. You gotta wonder, some cars are gonna be faster than others on this restart, and some cars are gonna stay faster than others because of the sheer nature of the fact that a lot of these cars were involved in the big one coming off of turn number 4. Ian Korov jumping to the inside as he gets help from Ethan Mitchell. Bryce Gerlach switching lanes as well, going to the outside. Star, as now he leads lap number 16. And now Ethan Mitchell's going to try to get into second place here, as he will get some draft help from Faris Khalil. You would think this is the old MSCCT with just 20 drivers on the track. Oh, they're going 3 wide. 41, they are having some bumping and banging here as Ethan Mitchell takes the middle line. Faris Khalil taking the bottom line. And the 08 now going to try to help the 41 get him back into position so maybe he can capitalize. But Ian Korov, your race leader, with a pretty decent gap, he leads lap number 6. They continue to go 3 wide here. Mitchell, Starr, and Khalil trying to get side by side here. And the 01 of Dakota Bennett trying to push the 08 of Patrick Starr. And Darian Arnsdorf, your current points leader, in 6th right now, and really for the guys that are still battling for points after what we've seen so far, right now, I mean, it's looking like that your real contenders, per se, are Arnsdorf, who is the current points leader, but then also Ryan Adema, Dan Wilkins, Chase Buck, and a few others as well. But what these other guys need, if they want to take the points lead away, is they need Arnsdorf to have multiple consecutive bad finishes. They need him to have that. They require it, per se. as Ian Korob leads lap number 18. Jumping from 6th to 2nd as he had some effective strategy. Now, if you're wondering about the streak that I talked about before the wreck happened, was that we have 11 races with 11 race winners. The guys that are in the top 18 right now that are in a position to win their second race will be Ian Korob, who won at Bristol, Darian Arnsdorf, who won all the way back at Walt Disney World, which was race 3. There is also Santiago Alvarez, who won race 5 at Charlotte. There's a Gristo Papageorgis, who won race 8 at Watkins Glen, but he's pretty much off the pace. Dan Wilkins, who won at Daytona in race 1. Creed Daniel, who won race 4 at Darlington. Armin Salvador, who won race 9 at Talladega, or at Indianapolis. So if anything, if Ian Korob wins this race, he's going to be on a roll. You know, not only would he break that streak, he would also do it by winning Bristol and, and Talladega. So now Dakota Bennett is going to go into second. He finished second at Martinsville on the short track, but is still looking for redemption, looking for his first win, and it would be the second win for Pacific Racing this season. There are some teams with multiple wins this year. Dan Wilkins and Santiago Alvarez both have a win for Dan Wilkins Racing. Ryan Adema has a win for Ryan Adema and Doug Doring both have wins for Adema Buck Racing. And really, that's about it when it comes to multi-winner teams so far this season. Now, Korob and Bennett are trying to work together, almost like tandem drafting. Reminds me of a little bit of the 2011 Daytona 500, where, and a lot of the 2011 season and 2012 season in general, where there was a lot of tandem drafting, and it made it very interesting to see what would happen. As now it's the 01 and the 07, they're working together, and that's a good thing that they're working together. That's but the question is, does tandem drafting, because you have only 2 guys working together instead of 5 or 6, it probably helps your engine try to cool down as well. Because you're not fighting with 5 or 6 other people, you're just fighting with one other person and trying to help them out instead of trying to work against them. books 1,250,000 at Talladega Superspeedway. If you missed it, the big one really was a true big one. As if we take a look here at the crazy wreck, see if I can even find it. I gotta go through my list here. So here is the wreck that occurred on lap 10. Just take a look at this. Winty Wolf gets turned and pow, causes the huge one in the space between turns 4 and the tri-oval. Just so many cars torn up. It basically took out half the field, which I find absolutely incredible. Here is the next sort of pack that we have going on here. Bryce Durlocker, Jay Monin, Dante Lemieux, and Greg Shatner. They're sort of working together. And while this pack is now going to face some lap traffic, they're going to try to get around it, but I don't think there's any guarantee of that happening. I think they're going to jump to the inside. Creed Daniel's going to put on a block on the 07 of Ian Korop. Remember, these guys are going to be lap traffic, and they're trying to work against them. I find this, like, really amusing for some reason. You're going to see lap traffic really mess with the lead lap. Really funny. And then, I guess that means that Ian... Oh! He just tried flat out dumping the 28 of Creed Daniel, and it didn't work. Let's take a look at that, if we can. Let's see if there's any lap traffic. There's not really much lap traffic. Let's take a look at what the 08 did to try to just flat out turn the 28 of Creed Daniel. You can see he's on the top line. He just turns him. And Creed Daniel's able to save it, of course. But now, that means that the 08 is really going to have to try to catch up to get back to the front of the pack. Mitchell in that number 41 Ford. He's trying to get down to the inside. He's in third right now. This is some of the best racing that we've seen from Mitchell all season. He's really been running mid-pack, even towards the rear of the field at times. It makes you wonder, is he going to capitalize on his opportunity? As he looks like he does. He's going to jump to the inside and take second back. Now, Dakota Bennett is going to pit lane along with Patrick Starr, so you know what that means. We could see some green flag pit stops. Ian Korop in the lead on lap 31. We are getting word from Race Control that on lap 35, they will hold a impromptu competition caution due to the sheer amount of drivers that are literally not in the race. It's only like 18 drivers left in the race. So what they're going to do is they're just going to call a competition caution on lap 35 and let them, what's it called? And just kind of let them catch back up so that we can have a more exciting race. Now Mitchell and Khalil on pit lane. If we take a look at pit lane, you can see just a few cars coming on in. Now Patrick Starr will get back out onto the track in 12. Gotta wonder when Korop will go to pit lane. It's really interesting what they're gonna do here, or what they might not do. We'll see what happens here coming off of turn number 4. And he's going to keep on going. He's going 205 miles an hour. He is not going to pit anytime soon. He wants to keep that lead. We don't see anybody new coming down pit lane, not that I can see. No, he's really new, but I'm just surprised that he's staying out for this long. This could come back to bite him if he's not careful. I mean, everybody's basically spread out. This is really the only pack that is really not isolated. You have Durlocker, Monin, Lemieux, now Alvarez as well, and also Jay Bird is out of the race as well, so that does leave it with 18 as I had suspected. Does Korob go to pit lane this time by? No, he's still running. He's going to pass his own teammate. He's going to lap his own teammate, Dan Wilkins. Going to put him a lap down. Remember, 2 more laps until the competition caution on lap 35. There's Dakota Bennett trying to pass the 77. Let's see. If he starts to slow down coming off of turn number 4, then we know he's going to come on in. Yep, that's exactly what will happen. Ian Korob will go to pit lane as the race leader on lap 34. And remember... Oh, wow. He came in way too fast. Watch that. Watch that. He came into pit lane at 120. So he's going to serve a penalty while he's at it. And with that, that will bring out the competition caution. So Ian Korob is leaving pit lane. I don't know if he will be leaving as the leader. But the pace car has already left. The pace car is trying to catch up to the rest of the field. I think right now they're scoring Darian Arnsdorf as the race leader. Caution is now out. See Korob passing the pace car. It's going to make it interesting for lap traffic, that's for sure. Because everybody's trying to catch up to the pace car. The question is, who will it pick up as the leaders? I think it's going to pick up Arnsdorf and Starr. Although Starr might be a lap down. Here comes Bryce Durlocker. Don't hit the pace car. You almost did. A little bit confusing here. They're still trying to work things out and trying to figure out what to do. There's Greg Shatner and Bryce Durlocker. They're going to pass the pace car. I don't know. If we take a look at our standings, it shows that Starr, Daniel, Reeves, and Aguilar are both some laps down. Only 13 cars actually remain on the last, on the lead lap. So does that mean that Alvarez will take second? It's going to be confusing, as these guys are barely even keeping up. They're going 40 miles an hour. They have to turn right to go left. That's essentially what they have to do, since I don't know what they're waiting for. They're not going very fast, that's for sure. They're literally going 40 miles an hour. Are they waiting for Durlocker to pass them? Whoa, Durlocker almost hit the 76 and the 41. Now they're going to get back going again, since I think the guy that needed to pass them did. So I think that's what they were doing. They were waiting for the guy to pass them that needed to pass. So yeah, Arnsdorf, Monin, as well as Alvarez. We're going to see some yellow flag pit stops here. Very spread out field. Remember, this is a 2.66 mile track. So if they're this far spread out, it's an insane amount of spread out that we see. Now these guys all stayed out, which means they could be getting a wave around. There's Darian Arnsdorf leaving pit lane. Once they get everything figured out, then we'll go to break so that they can figure everything out and then go back under green following this competition caution. And if Arnsdorf wins, yeah, it'll break the streak, but it'll also really extend his points lead a lot, since a lot of the guys that need to do well in this race and at Texas for race 13, they're not doing too well. they are scoring Dante Lemieux as the race leader. So that's a little bit interesting. Dante Lemieux is being scored as the race leader in the number 79 Camaro. Boy, oh boy, is this getting interesting. Because nobody knows who goes where and who does what. I think Starr is staying out, and then Daniel, Reeves, and Salvador are coming all in. Yeah, they're gonna go in, and everybody else is gonna stay out. That's what it looks like it's gonna be. But Dante Lemieux is your race leader on lap 37 at the books 1,500,000. So as we come back here on lap 39, we have learned that Dante Lemieux did go to pit lane just as we went to break. So he will no longer be the race leader. He had his time, but unfortunately he will not be the race leader. Ian Korob, however, has retaken the lead with Dakota Bennett second, Darian Ornsdorf third, Bryce Durlacher fourth, Jay Mon in fifth, Santiago Alvarez sixth, Agristo Papageorgia seventh, Dan Wilkins eighth, Ethan Mitchell 9th, Ferris Khalil 10th, Greg Shetner 11th, Winty Wolf 12th, and Dante Lemieux 13th. In the Tri-Oval, Patrick Starr, who is in 14th, will lead the pack even though he's not actually in the lead. Green flag on lap 30, my score is telling me 38, but it should be 39. Yep, it is 39. So they'll have to deal with lap traffic probably once, and that's it. Dakota Bennett on the outside here, trying to maybe make a move, as Darian Arnsdorf as well is trying to get around Luis Aguilar so that he can contend. Ian Korob now trying to get around the 08 of Starr. Does that work? Tried to make a block, but it didn't actually come to fruition. It's the 01 of Dakota Bennett running in second behind Korob, as now Alvarez and Wilkins go to pit lane. Headed back to the stripe, Ian Korob, your race leader on lap 41. Oh, look at Starr coming down there on Arnsdorf. He tried to come down. He's a lap down, but he's trying to control who is in the race lead. None of these guys are his teammates. Remember, he's a single car team because his other car, the number 0 car, he got booted. So he has to sort of fight for himself, and he's done well this season. He's done a lot better than a lot of people have expected him to do, even if it doesn't mean living up to expectations. And now they start to run single file, like train racing here. Now Patrick Starr trying to get his spot back in the 08. And the 01 is still trying to, make some sort of move and try to not have a block put on him. Like, there's Darian Arnsdorf. He's trying to fight for the lead, and he has a block put on him. Darian Ornsdorf now sliding into second now that Dakota Bennett's starting to fall back a little. Yeah, they're all running single file. It's really not much. But if Arnsdorf can get into second, if he can get in a good position to take the lead, then that'll be good for number 98 Haas Stewart. So so that maybe he can go to victory lane. Ethan Mitchell now jumping to the inside. Ian Korob's going to have to block both of them depending on who gets the better run. Does Arnsdorf block Mitchell? He does. He goes to the bottom there. He puts on the block. Now Bennett jumping to the inside. For good or for worse. Because now it looks like he's going to get into third if Ethan Mitchell doesn't advance. And he does not yet at least. But I think the 01's goal is to try to push the 98 at least and get him to new heights. And get him in a better spot than they are. With 12 laps to go, there's not too much time left to make ground, and Ian Korob is just trying to block driver after driver. Remember, Ian Korob, he made his debut at Charlotte in the Coca-Cola 600, but wrecked out. And then had a good finish at Martinsville in the top 20. And he's been getting closer and closer to the top ever since, until he won at Bristol Motor Speedway for the iHeartRadio 500. 11 to go now, as Dakota Bennett once again now gets from 4th to 3rd and now to 2nd, as Darian Arnsdorf starts to slowly fall back, and look where he came from. Faris Khalil, native of Ontario, Canada. He is now in 5th with 10 laps to go, or 11 laps to go actually. See our helicopter is trying to fight with the pack, trying to catch up at 200 miles an hour. Now, if Arnsdorf can help Bennett, then maybe it can be the other way around as well. Because Arnsdorf, all he needs is a good run in the corner. And it'll put him in a good spot. If we take a look at our lap traffic here, you can see Reeves, Salvador, Daniel, they're all working together, but really not much in the sense of actual excitement. Since they're still about a half lap apart, I don't think it'll take 10 laps to actually have them work together and everything like that. I don't think it'll happen. I just don't think that they'll be able to catch up to those guys, you know, by a long shot after for 10 laps. It could happen on the last lap. We saw something at Atlanta where in that good finish where there was lap traffic involved in the pass that gave Chase Buck the lead. But now 9 laps to go as Dakota Bennett trying to push Ian Korob to victory lane from Talladega. essentially just train racing here on lap 51. They're trying to get a fight against Korob, and they're trying to make everything work out, but now if we take a look on the backstretch, you can see lead lap not too far behind. These guys are running about, I'd say, 20 miles an hour faster than those guys, so, I mean, now they're sort of closing in on them, which could set up a late revolt with 3, 2, or even 1 lap to go. It could be a very exciting finish for what otherwise has been a very non-eventful race. Besides that wreck on lap 2 and the huge wreck that took out basically half the field, and I'm not even exaggerating by that statement. This has otherwise been not your typical Talladega race, because the Talladega race that we're usually used to has a bunch of wrecks, has a bunch of, you know, flips and everything like that. This is not what we've seen this afternoon, and even though it's great for the teams and drivers that, you know, don't wreck out, it's, I think, less of a great experience for fans, because remember, they're used to Talladega being one of the most daunting races of the year, and now this is, I wouldn't say it's a snooze fest by any means, because of that huge wreck. But now going on lap 53, here we go. We got some lap traffic here. Could this set something up? They're spread out enough. Nelson Reeves goes for the block. He goes for the block, but now he goes high. But now they go low. They seem like they avoided that one somewhat, but they have to go into the corner as well and avoid something there. Now Darian Arnsdorf is going to go into second. Oh, Arnsdorf to the inside. They are side by side in the tri-oval. Korob might lose the lead. Darian Arnsdorf to the lead. And he leads the lap. Darian Arnsdorf leads the lap with 4 laps to go. But now he puts a block. Now Winty Wolf puts a block on Arnsdorf. And Korob goes back to the lead. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. That was 15 seconds of a lead, and that was now being taken away as they still get scrambled up in the lap traffic. Darian Arnsdorf went from first now to fourth. He couldn't even lose the spots. Oh my gosh, I mean, Arnsdorf led the lap, yeah, and then he just sort of faded away as now the lead gets even wider for the 07 of Ian Korob, coming back to the stripe. He'll have 3 laps to go this time by for his second career win in the MSCCT. Take a look at Ethan Mitchell right here. He's running second. I'd say that would easily be his best finish all year. I think he only has 1 or 2 top 10s. If I take a look at the point standings here, give me 1 second. Standings. Yeah, Mitchell right now. Mitchell is actually 20th in the point standings, but he doesn't even have any top 10s this year. Ethan Mitchell has been so far out of touch with the racing scene in this league, he hasn't even had any top 10s after 11 races. He's finally looking for a rebound, and I think he's going to get it, as though Dakota Bennett is on his inside. I'm sure even though he would finish third if this were the case, if this were to continue, third place finish for a team that hasn't even been able to crack the top 10 at all this season really makes it an interesting case. But Ian Korob in the lead on lap 56 of 57. Just 2 more to go. He's got to face off against his own teammate, Dan Wilkins. We'll see what happens going into the corner here. Does he make the block? Oh, he tried to make the block, but he didn't. And I think that, yeah, that's really the only lap traffic that's going to matter. Coming off of turn number 4 into the tri-oval, Dakota Bennett looks like he's going to be set up for his second place finish of the season. But Ian Korob takes the white flag. 1 more lap to go, and the book's $1,500,000. Ethan Mitchell third, Dakota second, Darian Arnsdorf fourth, Faris Khalil fifth, and all the way back in 6th is Agristo Papa Georges and Bryce Derlocker 7th, and they're basically an entire half lap down. Going into turn number 3. this is it. We've had 12 races this season, and the streak of unique winners without a repeat one is now concluded. Ian Korob wins the Books of 500, and he snaps the streak that everyone has been looking at for weeks and weeks. Dakota Bennett made that quick jump to the inside. I thought he was going to maybe make a slingshot pass. Yeah, look at this. He jumps to the inside, and so close, but no cigar. Ian Korob wins his second career race in the MSCCT, breaking that long-standing streak of 12 races without a unique winner. Or 12 races without a repeat winner, I apologize. I thought that Arnsdorf might have been able to pull it off this afternoon, but the streak is finally over as Ian Korob looks like he's going to go for an extra lap around the track. How about that? But in any case, that will wrap it up for the Books of 1,250 here in the Modern Stock Car Cup Tour. Tune in next time for the first half finale from Texas Motor Speedway. We'll see you guys next time.